Okay. Good morning to all of you. So today this is the orientation session for PSI 300, and we are talking of the new batch that is on 22nd June. So I'll just tell you that what are the expectations from the batch, what I'm expecting from you, what is the flow of the batch, how are we going to proceed. So the first batch for 2027 that started on 8th of June. Post that we had many requests for a new batch. So we are now the 22nd June batch. Okay? Now I will first tell you what are the objectives of this program, right? So anybody who's preparing for or who has the optional political science, who has either given mains earlier or is expecting to write mains next year, right? And your target year is 2027. This is the program for you. Now the main thing is, in this program I am expecting that you have already covered your foundation. Okay? This could have been 1 year back, 2 year back, 3 year back, even before. People have done their foundation. Sometimes you have done part of your foundation. Even if you've done part of your foundation, you will be able to follow the lectures. Okay? Now here, what is my philosophy? So at least some basic background should be there so that you are able to grasp. Okay? Now many times you join a test series. Optional may you join a test series, you have a lot of motivation, but after a couple of tests, you stop writing the test, and then what happens? You feel that optional is a very difficult task. Okay? To simplify that, we have this program PSI 300, and here I have almost 3 objectives which I will discuss with you. The 3 objectives that I have is, number 1, to make summaries any topic of our syllabus. In foundation, you may, how many notebooks have you made till now? 12 notebooks. Okay? 4. So at least there is a difference. So my idea is that for every topic in the syllabus, we will make summaries. Now just for a moment, I'll tell you what do I mean by these summaries. So let's say the people who are new, if you go even to the Shunya's website, and anybody who's even not joined the course can also see right now. I'll just show you. Oh, 1 second. If you go to optionals and political science, you go to enrichment. This is the current batch we're talking of, right? You can go to view details and subscribe. PSI 300. अब यहाँ पे I've also maybe mentioned देखो, I'll just go to the course planner, but first I'll tell you what do I mean by summaries. I hope this is visible. Okay, let's say this topic is Western political thought. Okay, we start with Plato. We have all the important thinkers. The last 10 years of PYQ of that thinker, okay, are here. Now I will teach you in a structured manner. Again, we don't have to give you stories about a thinker, random keywords about a thinker. My point is, whatever I will tell you has been asked or is likely to get asked. When I'm saying likely, there is going to be a reference to that. So what should be there in the introduction of Plato, right? Who are the influences on Plato, right? Books and quotes. Keywords we can have: Socratic influence, ideas, justice, ideal state, etc., etc. Communism, feminist. And when I do communism, I'll also compare it with Karl Marx. Okay? Is it correct to call him a father of political philosophy? And then for each thinker, we separately do their criticism, right? And this is defense. You can also see this as conclusion, his legacy. Now this same format we will do across your topics. Fine. So indirectly we are also covering the PYQs also. So this is the first thing, right? Your summaries. Now how to go about these summaries? Sometimes students ask, sir, should I revise my foundation notes first and then watch your lecture, or opposite way? I will say you first watch the lecture. I'm writing CC here, the crash course lecture. You make your notes around it. whatever handouts I've given, may take a printout of it and keep a couple of A4 sheets handy. Okay, sometimes maybe what I'm saying you're not able to fill it in the page. Okay, you will write it. Okay, so first watch the lecture and fill these sheets. Second step is a very important step. You have already done your foundation. After doing this, quickly revise your foundation notes, any coaching, any material you have had. Okay, now here, because we are, let's say, doing it in a faster manner, it may happen that in foundation you've done a good quote, any new dimension. If you want to add it, कैसे add करोगे? Simple है. That is why I'm saying keep a couple of A4 sheets handy. In my document, entire WPT is covered in 16 pages, 1/6. Let's say you have to add 4 or 5 pages extra. कितना हो गया? 20 pages, right? So entire document gets covered. This is our main agenda. This is your step 1, your summaries. Normally what happens that whenever I ask students to write a test, they will generally say, sir, revise nahi hai. I want to write a good test. This is also procrastination. And you want to spend some time. And many times what happens, you know Plato, Aristotle, some thinkers. But some students, sometimes you may struggle in Gramsci or Hannah Arendt or any other thinker. That fear stops you from writing the answer. Okay? So we are tackling, this is the first stage that I have, that is making of summaries. Okay? Now, after you are done with this, you will be getting practice questions. Okay? Now, again I go back to the site. This is your course planner for the people of 2020 to 22nd June. अब देखो, आज है 22nd. Right now we are doing orientation. Okay? And notice your test is on 4th July. You have been given ample time. Okay? There is an IPT marathon that you will get in your portal, and there is a WPT marathon. Okay? These are long lectures, but again they are very well structured and they cover the dimensions of these respective thinkers. आप इन lectures जैसे ही आपने complete करा इसको, whenever you have done with this, what will you do? You will go through the practice questions. So you have made your summaries. Let's say you are not able to do it in 2 days, 24, 20, 24, 22, 24, 26. But we have given you 10 additional days. Why? You summarize it properly. You go through this. Isko don't be in a hurry to do that, I'm telling you. Because many of you will also be parallelly preparing your GS. Right? So give it time. Let's say you're devoting 3 or 4 hours per day to your optional. Okay? But make sure that is consistent. First step is this. You have covered this. Watch the lecture, make the summary. Second, you have revised your foundation notes and added anything that is of value. Yeah. No. When I'm doing the lecture, this sheet is getting filled. My entire lecture is based on this sheet. So if I say Plato as a feminist, you directly have a heading Plato as a feminist. Then I talk about it. So my lecture is structured exactly like this for every static topic in the syllabus. Okay? So ऐसा नहीं है कि after doing the lecture you are supposed to fill it. This is going to be done during the lecture itself. And additionally, anything you want to add, because from the last batch, 8th June batch, because they have already done this part, the feedback that I'm getting is, sir, whatever you have covered in these 16 pages after adding 2 or 3 pages, now my 400 page notes have become this, and now I think this topic I can tackle. ठीक है? पहली चीज. अच्छा, why am I sharing practice questions to you? अब this is for simple एक चीज है, brainstorm. In your portal, you will get it in one format. You will first get the questions. Only questions are there. This is what this is 300 plus. The name 300 plus is you get for each topic practice questions. इसको use कैसे करना I'm telling you. You will get questions and separately I'm giving model answers. I could have clubbed them also. But then क्या होता? You will just passively read it. अच्छा हाँ ठीक है. Questions दिया है. I want you to spend some time on each question. For this, just have a rough copy. ठीक है? You see the question, you try to brainstorm whatever you have done. If you're not able to recall that, go back to your notes. आप brainstorm करिए. And when I'm saying brainstorm, I will tell you just right now how to do a brainstorm. You have seen the questions. After seeing the questions, you will go through the model answers. This is more active way of preparation. Okay? Otherwise, हम लोग क्या करते हैं? ऊपर से question पढ़े and you're not very clear on what is to be thought. ये मेहनत, this kind of effort, I want to be done before writing a test. So third element will now come is actual test that you have. देखो many times in GS people put efforts. GS में they make short notes, they do PYQs of practice, and then they write a test. Optional में many times we don't do this. And our simple endeavor in this program is, and this is a philosophy one has to follow. Anybody who's watching this offline, online later on, point ये है ना, I don't want you to just join this program just because you like my lectures. I know many of people will join just based on that. कि sir your lecture was very good, it helped me summarize. But इस program को join करना है, तो you have to keep in mind कि यार I have to write. If you don't write, you will not be able to improve. You write the test, okay? Now, हाँ, या देखो इसमें भी आई डोंट हैव अ हैबिट ऑफ स्पून फीडिंग, राइट? आपने टेस्ट लिखा, आई हैव मेड यू राइट अ टेस्ट, ठीक? द मोमेंट यू राइट अ टेस्ट, नाउ यू विल स्ट्रगल कि सर आई एक्चुअली रेड सम पार्ट्स इन दिस टेस्ट, आई फेस डिफिकल्टीज. नाउ एवरी टेस्ट इज गोइंग टू बी फॉलोड बाय अ लाइव टेस्ट डिस्कशन, एवरी टेस्ट, विच मीन्स अगर मैं टेस्ट से पहले आपको बताऊं कि इंट्रोडक्शन कैसे लिखना है, उससे ज्यादा बेटर है आफ्टर राइटिंग अ टेस्ट, बिकॉज नाउ यू हैव ऑलरेडी मेड अ मिस्टेक. नाउ यू नो आई वाज स्टक हियर इन दिस पार्ट. I was not able to correct my thinkers. So my test discussions are different. In test discussion, I will not tell you the content because content I have already covered in these classes. Here our only focus is how to write these answers. ठीक? Framework, can I use a framework? Can I simplify something? I will again tell you your own notes कि आपको ये part लिखना चाहिए था इस आंसर में. फिर आप कहोगे, oh, that is how it has to be done. This is going to be a unique aspect. And many times people ignore this. ठीक? Of course, you will be getting model answers, you will be getting evaluation, but even one more layer which we have added here is, you post your copy gets checked, you also have an option of one-to-one discussion of your copy with me. This can be availed offline as well as online, okay? And my experience is that after you've seen the discussion, and if you had few discussions with me, you now know what the examiner or the evaluator expects from you. बहुत बार क्या होता है ना, कोट बेस्ड आ गया क्वेश्चन, स्टेट इज इंडिविजुअल रिट लार्ज, दैट्स इट. And now you don't know, sir, where do I start? Sir, should I start from state? Should I start from maybe Plato? You're not very sure. So this mechanism is there to help you out. And humanity is optional. This is political science. There is no right answer, I'm telling you. And many times what happens, let's say you get a remark in your copy कि you have not written this. हो सकता है आपने कुछ और लिखा हो, and you then want to discuss, sir मैंने सही तो लिखा था, I was writing the same thing, please help me explain this. We can also discuss that. So this part is important. Sir basically ideology तो होता है, वो तो imaginary concept होता है. बिल्कुल. तो वो तो imaginary. Right. तो इसमें भी decide करना है कि कौन सा positive है, कौन सा negative. Right, है ना? तो there is a subjectivity to it, right? तो ये has to happen constantly. Fine. Now this is what I say to you in two terms. Okay? Whenever we have to prepare, there are two things. One is practice, and the second part is, normally we focus only on this. My performance should be very good. How can you know your performance? When you write your test, the test that you have in the schedule, or when you, let's say, write the actual UPSC exam, this is your performance. How will your performance be good? It has to depend on how well you have practiced. समझ में आ रहा है मैं? So that means how well I've made my summaries. And it is not just summary making, how much you revise. The difference that comes in people, there are some people who know the concept, but some students will write all the keywords, some students will write quotes in the answer, books in the answer. Why? They have done this better than you, right? And before the test, that is why we have given you the 300 plus questions to practice. Of course, ये topic wise है. अब आप इसमें भी time spend करेंगे तो finally this will get better. Okay, so you have to be very clear in your mind. Practice, performance. Another thing I have, which I always say, some people or some students say, sir, what about PYQs? First about, the class is structured already on PYQs. First thing is that if you are done with the questions, you can also separately write some of the PYQs. And again, I'm repeating, if you are struggling with any PYQ after done with the class, the discussion, you can also discuss that with me. So indirectly, I will be covering all the PYQs that are there in the syllabus. Now, this is totally up to you, how much you utilize it. A student's, let's say, outcome from a course depends on two things: enthusiasm and participation. Enthusiasm होना चाहिए अगर आप एग्जाम दे रहे हैं. If you are not enthusiastic, चलता है ठीक है यार, एक नई क्लास हो रही है, राइट? दैट इज वन वे टू लुक एट इट. सेकंड इज एवरी स्मॉल थिंग दैट वी हैव रिटन, बिकॉज देखो वी हैव टू लुक फॉरवर्ड, right? And keep in mind whatever hard work you are doing right now is going to bear fruit after some time. We are only right now, think of a agricultural field. We are sowing the seed. We have to water the crops. We have to look after the crops, and this has to be done, right? So two things I've told you till now. What is the philosophy of the course? We are making summaries, okay? We are going through the questions. We are doing tests. Now, one thing that is almost a huge bonus of the course is you have current affairs updation. Okay. Now my current affairs updation will also include 1B, 2A as well as 2B. For current affairs, you have to make a separate copy. You will get current affairs lectures, right? Till mains, the lectures that you will have are parallel with the people who are going to write mains. So these lectures you will get in a recorded format, the ones which I am just having with the main students. The moment mains ends, your live classes with me again begin. I will call you number 1 for we will be discussing live the entire 2026 paper, and I will give you some assignments on how to go about it. Number 1. In fact, when this paper happens, your paper 1A with me would have already been done, and then you can again cross check, sir, how confident you are. And generally the paper 1A is more repetitive in nature. If you have worked hard, you will say, sir, just somehow I have to clear prelims, I will just maximize my marks in the next attempt, right? And post mains we will have remaining current affairs section every month. So which means September may you'll have session, October, November, and the last one that we'll have is in the second week of December, which tells me, and which also is an important point, that you have to be clear about your timelines in the course. The very first timeline, of course, everybody here is going to attempt the exam in 2027. Any of your friends who has written mains before or is writing the mains right now? कोई ऐसा friend है आपका? If you will have few friends, सबसे बड़ा problem is that now they have to revise these big bulky notes. ठीक है? So why I'm reminding you that I don't want you to be in that position, right? The course will give you a proper structure, a proper schedule, and more important, a human interface. If you're nearby, around, after you're done with the class, whenever you want to discuss your preparation, you can do that. You can update me, sir, this is a problem I'm facing, this is an issue I'm facing, fine. So pehli cheez hai, I already know when the exam is going to happen, but I need to know the micro detailing. Here your deadline is, ये तो दिमाग में चलना चाहिए, ठीक है? And this is exactly how your course schedule has been designed. Okay, if I look at the schedule, and again, people online, you can easily see things have been very properly shared in a manner that we are going to go about it. देखो, almost your paper 1A will get done on 27 July. उसके बाद तो revision test चल रहे हैं, right? Paper 1B almost 11th September, and there is a lot of gap in between. The gap is there so that we don't rush things, okay? And parallelly, current affairs is going on. Paper 2, all the important topics. Paper 2 gets done almost 21st October, and then you have the last paper, that is paper 2B, which gets done 4th December. Okay, can you see this? Of course, you have a couple of tests. Everything, if you want, will get wrapped by 19 December or even before. Even before Christmas, we are wrapping it. Why? As we know, especially the nature of prelims paper, sometimes you need time for that. And I also know you will be parallelly preparing GS also. You may be writing essays also, right? So here, your syllabus should be designed in such a manner that there is a breathing space. Now, the people who are writing mains, if you know, for them I am taking class almost every second day. Tomorrow there is a class, then after day after tomorrow there is a class, right? The same classes that we are having with them, very detailed classes for mains, are the ones that you will also be getting in your portal. Okay, so now if you see the schedule, and it is very important to know your schedule. Our idea is when are we ending it, you already know, and for every test we have given you sufficient buffer. जैसे देखो 18 नवंबर को स्टैटिक खत्म हुआ इस पार्ट का, करंट अफेयर्स है, उसके बाद भी वी हैव गिवन यू 8 days gap, right? Almost that gap is continuously maintained, and this is also good thing when you join in June. Okay, let's say, and the same program, of course our batches will come in every month, but the point is later on what will happen, the time gets reduced. Students also join in October. Let's say some students who have already written the mains, they will join later, but उनके साथ क्या, they will have more confidence. They can even extend to January or sometimes Feb because they know they're confident pre, right? But for a normal student, I will say, you have to end it here. There's no point of then, nahi sir, I want to do more and more. Arey, do it here right now, अच्छे से. Do your current affairs learn better. Focus more time on prelims. Then you don't say to me, sir, optional took so much of my time. Okay. So my point is, this is your end goal, and you have a buffer also between the tests. And even after that, I'm saying, let's say your syllabus is not done, take 4 or 5 days extra, but whenever you write with the best of your efforts. Okay. Next thing I want to tell you is when you write the test. Okay, I want you to complete the test. I don't want you to write it only in the dedicated time frame, right? The initial 5 or 6 tests that you will write, what I'm asking you to do, so let's say it's a one and a half hour test. You write it for 2 hours. I have no problem in that. Your copy will get checked. Initially, we are testing you on whether you know what to write or not. It is later on that we will also see whether you are writing in time limit. Let's say you say, "Nahi sir, I want to write in time limit and writing 4 questions only." That also does not serve the purpose. So this liberty we are giving you in advance. Okay, you take your time. You feel confident. You feel comfortable. कि अच्छा ठीक है. Okay, I'll do that. Fine. Now everything looks fine. Everything looks clear. But I will tell you, your enemies. What is the meaning of enemies here? Things that will stop you from following the schedule. And in many cases, the enemy may be you yourself. Why? This is June right now. The moment you see, acha, exam will happen in August of 2027. Why put so much of effort? It can come, this thought may come. See, I'm not asking you to study right now 12 hours per day. Nobody's asking you. The people who are writing mains, they are anyway, they have to do it. For these 2 months, they know their life is, if they perform well, directly there's a high chance they may get a rank, right? But for you, enemies, number one enemy is this. Second big enemy. If you want everything perfect, you will keep on delaying writing the test. ये नहीं चाहिए मैं. You write an average test, I'm equally okay with that. We are looking for a improvement. हो सकता है कि baseline यहाँ पे हो. My job is, let's say, even if you're writing something like this, something like this is an improvement that will happen. If you've seen the schedule, how many tests do you have? 14 sectional tests, 6 FLTs, and out of these 6, 2 will happen before pre, right? 4 will happen after. Again, see the schedule, that is why. Test 11, 12, 13, 14, these are sectional tests. And these FLTs are also there before December, before January, I should say. बाकी 4 बाद में FLTs हैं. So that means you can write these many 14 plus 2 FLTs. That's a huge number to write. और इतना अगर आपने लिख दिया, you will yourself tell me the level of confidence that you feel in the exam, before the exam just. Because I am going to take care of current affairs as well. ठीक है, many times the issue is, sir, ठीक है, I'm feeling okay in static, but whenever current affairs come, my mind goes for a toss. Okay, so these are the things. So procrastination, if it happens, if it is bothering you, if you're not getting productive, directly reach out, have an intervention. Because what is the enemy of perfection and procrastination? बताओ, क्या इनकी भी क्या enemy है? The enemy is progress. It may be very small, but this will help you tackle. Because right now, see, you have to follow the schedule. If you don't get yourself the target, अंदर से motivation नहीं आएगा. और अपने आप को कमिट करना पड़ेगा यार, आई हैव टू राइट द टेस्ट, आई हैव टू शो, आई हैव टू स्पीक, आई हैव टू मेक, और आई हैव टू गिव माई प्रोग्रेस रिपोर्ट every week to sir. And this I ask you to do so. In that sense, I'll be very much available. You have to just drop a small message. Okay, if you want to do it daily for yourself to feel accountable, you can do that. Agar lag raha daily kabhi bar you may miss a day, you do it weekly. And this is for your own benefit, that you keep a track. Okay. So what I would be expecting from you is, number one, don't have a backlog of current affairs. Current affairs, I'm telling you, will go on parallelly. If you see test number 1, ये जो टेस्ट है ना, ये सारे टेस्ट आपका, द टेस्ट हियर इज बेस्ड ऑन ओनली आईपीटी डब्ल्यूपीटी. द टेस्ट इज नॉट बेस्ड ऑन करंट अफेयर्स. Okay, current affairs will come when your paper 2 parts starts, but current affairs keep a separate notebook, don't let it pile. And after doing just one current affairs session, you will totally love it and you will say, I am looking forward to more current affairs sessions, because it covers the arguments and how to write those particular parts in the exam. I hope this makes some sense. Okay, how to do this and how to understand that. So again, remember, we have given you elements of flexibility on how to write the tests, cover the respective portions properly so that you feel confident. Okay, and whenever you face an issue, you have the opportunity to, in fact, directly come back to me. Okay, now we have a thinker known as Aristotle in our syllabus. What does Aristotle say? Just have a look at it. This is the quote that also comes in your ethics paper, GS4. Now what does this quote say? We are what we repeatedly do. Excellence then is not an act but a habit. If I am doing something wrong repeatedly, I'll be expert in doing wrong thing. But at the same time, if I'm doing something right, how do I do something right? I have to unlearn. Dekho, if you understand the philosophy, see, we could have simply given you a test series, we could have done discussions, right? It was not essential for me to give you lectures and quick revision. God, and of course values are practiced. If you are, let's say, ethical once in 5 years, you will not be consistent in that, right? Virtues must be practiced. So here what I'm telling you, if there is any issue in a specific topic that is there, which is why your lectures which I'm giving you will be of value. It will give you clarity. What is the scope of the topic? Okay, and that is also what I feel a test series should help you with. One, test series should also help you with some of the content updation, and additionally test series should help you in answer writing also. That is why I tell you, every test discussion will be followed by answer writing, right? So instead of directly telling you this is a framework for answer writing, I will tell you after the test, this is how the test should be written. So don't miss your answer writing sessions. Fine. Other than that, I have to also let you know, after a specific section gets done, आपका 1A पूरा हो गया, okay, we will have a respective so you've done all the part of 1A. You just try to compile all the keywords important and the scholars for 1A, right? This will be very handy for your revision later on also, right? So these will be some bonus sessions that will be there, and these will also happen offline. You will be notified about that. Okay, so when you join the course, almost every major point or problem that you face, we will be taking care of it. Okay, but again, I am again repeating, it will also be up to you how much benefit you are able to take of this. Okay, so that is one. Other than that, just to summarize what all we are going to do. So remember, there are 4 things in an answer. One is content, one is structure. The moment you saw that revision handout I gave you, that is structure. When you fill that, that is content. Third is presentation. Fourth is enrichment. Ab enrichment hota kya? Many times people ask me. In your syllabus, a topic is mentioned. Neoliberal theory of state. Fine. In fact, what I'll do, I'll just write it here also so that we are able to see this better. Okay, whenever you see a question, and this is a framework I'll often use, whenever you brainstorm, शुरुआत में आप ऐसे करना खुद के लिए, write an introduction like this. Okay, then there will be a body. Now in PSIR we have to make sure this dimension very important. What is this? And you end this with, this is a top level view. Now slowly when you read, there are different ways to introduce it. One can be you can define what is a state. From state you can come to, in fact, different types of, and you can mention neoliberal, right? Another way to define is directly give a contextual introduction of neoliberal state. Any idea why neoliberal state came into being? क्यों आया था?
Actually, enlightenment करने के लिए at the time after the World War and according to the enlightenment to the Europe basically.
Not correct. Anything else? Neoliberal state कब आया? You know welfare state?
Yes.
Right. Welfare state से पहले there was a classical liberal state. Classical liberal state led to your industrial revolution. Inequalities बढ़ रही थी. So we wanted to reduce the inequalities. To reduce the inequalities came the welfare state. Welfare state has to do two things. It has to ensure capitalism. It also has to ensure socialism, that is welfare. तो welfare state को problem आएगी? Yes. The crisis of welfare state led to neoliberal state. People like Thatcher, people like Ronald Reagan, they made a claim that the nanny state, what is a nanny state? Nanny will interfere in everything. They will say nanny state should go back and the neoliberal state should come in. This is a context-based introduction. So the more you read, you can also have this, you can also have this. No issue as such. आपने बताया. अब जब आप बॉडी पे आएंगे, if I am saying neoliberal theory of state, let's say you are a student only. अगर मैं पढ़ा रहा हूँ, आप क्या सोचोगे? What will I teach? I will have to tell you what it stands for. है ना? I have to tell you. For example, one of the main keywords here is market fundamentalism. This is one. So one, you have to tell me what it stands for. Second, don't you think you have to tell me who gave it and who or major scholars here? ये तो होगा ही ना. Now it can happen कि आपने इसको revise नहीं किया right now. You are not able to remember, but you need to know this is the part of it. Yes or no? Anybody बताओ, कोई सा example दो. ये नहीं, अभी नहीं याद है, नहीं याद है, कोई बात नहीं. So I'll, when you read later, you will hear about people like Hayek, Nozick, Friedman, etc. Many people are there. क्या हमने इसको explain कर दिया अच्छे से? And we have told what they have talked about. Third thing is the criticism. Now neoliberal state says what? State should intervene minimal. Market should be fundamental. Right? Criticism क्या होगा? Increasing inequality. Right? Again, a criticism of neoliberal theory is that issues in education, healthcare, right? ये criticism होगा कि नहीं होगा? We are understanding it. But what will be the conclusion overall? We can talk about whether this should be reformed. Second, what does it help you in the academic discipline? In the discipline of political science, it helps me understand better. कुछ समझ आ रहा है सर? क्या आप इतने basic points से आंसर लिख पाओगे? At least you will be able to write it. This is a brainstorming I am doing. Yeah, it should be futuristic. It should be giving some good understanding, right? Or it can simply be like a contribution. For example, if the question of fascism, the fascism may what will be futuristic? But fascism, you will tell that through ideologies like fascism, we got to know, right, the dangers of ideology, right? This is something. This you will do again and again. और ये प्रैक्टिस आपकी हो जाएगी कोर्स में. समटाइम्स पीपल आर सर हाउ टू ब्रेनस्टॉर्म, क्या समझा रहे हैं, कुछ हेडिंग्स में हम सोच पा रहे हैं, एंड हेडिंग्स हैव सेपरेट सब हेडिंग्स. And when you write it, then you don't have to make this. Then you'll write it in a proper manner, and then that will also add a lot of weight to what we are discussing right now. I hope you're able to get a basic idea. Okay? So again, going back, what you get from the course ultimately is number one, right approach to writing. We work on 4 aspects: content, structure, presentation, as well as right. These are 4 parts. Second, we integrate things, जैसे कि thinkers, current affairs, case studies, terminology, very important point. ठीक है, this is also getting done into a single answer, right? Now when I say terminology, there are a couple of things I want to tell you. सबसे पहला है, this is something I want you to do. I'll give you 2 homework today. Okay, one homework is continuous homework. You have to read editorials. Okay, if not daily, weekly. कौन से editorials? Pol science, political science. I will be covering your current affairs classes, but this is something that will differentiate you. इसके लिए no. Here, what देखो, I am discussing more about political science. If you are following it for GS, it is totally your call. This will help you consolidation, fine. I am asking you to read editorials. I am asking you to read them, but I am not asking you to make summaries. नहीं, I am asking you to write important keywords. ये करना है आपको. If you're not able to do daily, Saturday को बैठो, 5 दिन के फटाफट पढ़ो. One editorial reading will hardly take 10 to 15 minutes maximum. I'm saying, not more than that. But sometimes students say, sir, my answer is not looking that good. It does not have some of the relevant value additions. उसके लिए ये करना पड़ेगा आपको. If you do this, then it will make a lot of sense. Yes? So please do that. Number 1. Second thing is, okay, this is again, that is how I check your commitment. In the previous batch also I gave them around 6-7 keywords, and I asked them that in one page, 2 to 3 lines each of each keyword and who gave that keyword, right? ये अब now list लिखो. This is to be done and this is to be sent to me, the people who have joined. ठीक है, mentioning your name, your batch. So this also tells me, right, your level of effort that you are putting in. It's a simple today orientation class, but in this small class also you will get a fair idea. ठीक है, अब आप लिखो. I'll tell you some terminologies. सबसे पहले लिखो. Some of them you may know, कोई इशू नहीं है. Use Google, use any GPT, but अपने हाथ से लिखोगे, एक ही पेज में कवर करना. Don't write a big long answer. I want this. What is the meaning of it? Who gave this concept? Where it can be used? So cover it in 3 or 4 or 5 lines. That's it. First term is anarcho-capitalism. Second term is Thucydides trap. This term has been recently in the news because of US-China relationship. Third term that you can look into, Middle Kingdom complex. Yes. Seven. Okay. Hardly 30-35 minutes it will take. In fact, आज इन्हीं टर्म से आपको कुछ नई चीजें सीखने को, you'll get a lot to learn only from this. ठीक है. This Please do it daily if possible, or you will do it weekly. But this is for your own benefit. When you later on see it with the current affairs classes, your learning will go to another level. Okay? So again, the point I'm trying to emphasize again and again is, there are some things that we have to do. Okay? And if we do that, that will make all the sense. You will send this to me as a WhatsApp message. Okay? You already know, most of you, on which number. So you will mention your name, mention PSIR 300, mention the batch, and then you will type this. Okay? 93191. ठीक है. So how will you send your messages? One, you will send me terminologies, आप अपने हाथ से लिख के भेजेंगे. And second, you will tell me your takeaways from the session. आपने आज की सेशन में सीखा क्या? Okay? Anything that stand out. It could be a small quote which I said, or I said, what are the enemies of your preparation, procrastination and perfection, right? So that will make it more. छोटा सा session है, but it will give you a lot of value. Fine? Now, coming back. So what I was saying is, right approach, integrating everything. We'll be seeing the whole syllabus across lectures also, across tests also. So that is there, right? You will have personalized mentorship, but iske liye I will see your effort as well. Okay? In due time, when we discuss based on your effort, and second, based on your writing, I'll be able to know your level. Okay? And please remember, all of you are competing with yourself. Don't get too much of carried away. Sir, this topper has written this answer. You don't know their journey. Some people take 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. They've been preparing before. They've written so much. When you're finally seeing their answer, you say, "Arey bhai, I'm not able to write this. Am I meant for this?" My point is, pehle effort to mariye. You have to put in effort, then only you can know. Right? If in fact I tell you, anybody here, right, and who makes a commitment, sir, I'll write all the 14 tests and I will do as per the feedback. आप अपने टेस्ट 1 की कॉपी रखिएगा अपने सामने and compare it with test 14. You will be shocked to see the level of difference that consistency can make. But सुनने में आसान लग रहा होगा. Right? Sometimes you may not have enough motivation. Especially, let's say you gave the prelims this year. Somebody you know is clearing the prelims. Sometimes you are in the library. Sometimes mind थोड़ा off रहता है कि अरे यार this exam certain and this and that. Many things come. थोड़ा उसको बैटल करेंगे. ठीक. Take care of health. You want to discuss, you want to reach out, you can do that. But have some consistency in your schedule. That is what I'm saying. Because when you have a long timeline, because your prelims exam is almost 1 year away and your mains exam is more than 1 year away, right? So I don't want the complacency to creep in. That is the point I wanted to make. Okay, you'll get a proper review of your tests on time. Okay, and main cheez हमें क्या करनी है? We have to become exam oriented. So again, that's why I'm saying, for any topic, the points that I'm discussing, in fact, in a class just day before yesterday, on Saturday, I'd taken a class on Gen Z protests, but I've done it from a PSIR angle. I linked it to social movements. I brought in Alberto Malucci, proper persons who have talked about social movement, and then I talked about the rise of new social movements. Right? So the points we are saying, आपको ये ध्यान रखना पड़ेगा, वो भी हम ध्यान रखेंगे, ठीक है?
स्कॉलर्स के नाम याद करने में काफी
ठीक है. और वो कुछ समय के बाद आप मुझसे कहोगे, सर मुझे तो याद हो रहे हैं नाम. This is a problem that you have. This is a common problem. That is why I said I will also be, after doing a complete section, we will also be revising your scholars. मैं रटवाऊंगा आपको क्लास में. If you see any of my class, I repeat my points many times to the extent वो आपको याद होगा. So if you're doing one single class, you make sure you write everything. ठीक? Second, you have pointed out, I have a problem in scholars. Fine? ठीक है. Do you watch matches, cricket? Anything that you're fond of, जो बहुत पसंद है. It can be any sport, it can be anything. और कुछ कोई अच्छी चीज़ जो थोड़ा, where you spend your time, any hobby that you have. Football. You know the names of players, coaches, captains, leagues, everything you know, right? Right now the World Cup is going on. You must be following that. Everything you know, right? एक चीज़ याद रखना, ठीक है? कहीं पे लिख भी लो, if that will help you again. तो लिखो, memory is a function of interest. Memory is a function of interest. It means what? If I'm interested in something, I will have a memory about it. For example, I'm a big fan of matches in cricket. I can even remember a particular over, the ball that was being bowled and things like that. Okay. Same thing for you. Interest. Let's say you don't have too much of interest in optional political science. Let's say for whatever reason. Way to circumvent is revision. Right? In prelims also you read so many facts of current affairs, this mission, this missile, that missile. Similarly, same manner you have scholars. Sometimes you don't remember scholars because you have learned the scholars in a wrong way. Somebody saying 10 scholars in 5 minutes randomly. There is no point of reference in your mind. The way we do it, every scholar will have a reference, you will get to understand, and again I will later on consolidate all the scholars for you. So scholar की problem नहीं आएगी. And more than the scholar, what the scholar has said is more important to me. So more than Habermas, his concept of legitimation crisis, जो अभी मैंने आपको homework दिया है, that is more important for me. ठीक है? So we'll keep that in mind, right? And the last thing I will end here with this is why students get stuck, especially the ones who have given mains here. And this will also give you people who are expecting to write mains, जैसे कि आप इसमें ट्रैप में ना फंसो. ठीक है? सबसे पहला क्या इशू होता है वही, राइट? बल्कि नोट्स. सेकेंड इशू क्या है? यू ओनली टेल मी.
Proper revision.
Notes are not, especially paper 2, current affairs में they don't know exactly what is to be done here. Third thing is, okay, in many times there is no answer writing. For GS people sometimes get more serious. In fact, for GS I think there is more guidance. In many times optional answer writing you are not very sure. You have written something, but जहाँ पे भी copy आपकी check हुई, the evaluation is not maybe up to the mark, and you have not discussed it perhaps with the faculty. कि sir, how should I have written my tests? That leads to more and more confusion. Some other people can also say the issue of scholars, ये बड़ी problem है. The issue of dimensions, the issue of keywords. Many times you write a paper 1B answer just like a GS2 answer. पूरा polity लिखा है. So what is the difference between GS2 and PSIR? What is the difference between IR of GS and paper 2 of PSIR? क्या चाहिए मुझे? Keywords, dimensions, scholars. Sometimes I don't write that. Right? Somebody else can have an issue with time. पेपर कंप्लीट ही नहीं हो रहा. They are missing out 20, 30, 40 marks. Marks कहाँ आएंगे आपके? But if you now look at the problems, that is why I started with solutions. What are we going to do? What are we going to make? Summaries. That helps with bulky notes. We are doing current affairs integration. That helps you with updation part of it. Classes will be having scholars, dimensions and keywords. You have to revise it. I'll also help you revise it. There is a regular answer writing followed by test discussions. That will help you with answer writing. ठीक है? और उसके बाद we will focus more on time. Right now again I'm saying, even if you're not able to complete the whole paper, no issues as such. Right? आप extra time ले लो. Slowly, steadily, the more you revise, you'll get better with time. I hope that part is also clear. ठीक है? So these are the few things for today's part I've told you. Now, today only, you will go back and when you see your portal, one, this session also will get uploaded to the portal in case you want to revisit any part, it will be there on YouTube. Second, as per your schedule, today you will get the lecture of IPT marathon. इसको अच्छे से करना है, ठीक है? And when you do it, take the printout of IPT marathon, that handout that you have. अगर वो handout नहीं मिल रहा, the summary that I shared, I just showed you where the summary is, right? वो भी हमने upload करी है. आज ये करेंगे, ठीक? Some part that is missing, complete it tomorrow, ठीक? But make sure don't think at the back कि नहीं सर अभी इसको आराम से देखना है. नहीं, आज करो. If you are able to do it today only, excellent. Or maybe one day more, complete it. Day after tomorrow, you have WPT. Okay, by the way, IPT has 9 thinkers. I've covered all 9 of them. ठीक है? Second is WPT, वो cover करेंगे, current affairs करेंगे. And then what you will do? Summary बनाई. You see the practice questions and then try to write the test. Ideally on the date that is given, but if not on that date, write it to the nearest possible date. ठीक है? No, best तो वही है. But again, I'm telling you, sometimes you may be doing some students are also doing the GS classes parallelly, Vajra, that is going on, okay? Or if you have some commitments or some issues, flexibility है, but I'm saying misuse मत करना, ठीक है? You use it, घर पे इफ देयर इज एन इंपॉर्टेंट वर्क 3-4 days ऊपर नीचे हो रहा है, डोंट वरी एट ऑल, यू जस्ट इन्फॉर्म मी सर, आई विल बी राइटिंग, ठीक है, लेटर ऑन, सो दैट आई ऑल्सो नो अबाउट योर प्रोग्रेस, फाइन. So that is how it is going to be there, ठीक है. Now the last thing again, just to re-emphasize to all of you, again for the people watching it online, the details that I've shared will be found on Sunya's website. जो भी schedule if you want to see it, the revision notes etc. वो आपको दिखेगा. Those who have joined the course will directly see a portal. वहाँ पे आपको आपके lectures या बाकी चीज़ें दिख जाएंगी. I hope that part is clear. हाँ, आपने कल ज्वाइन किया ना, you've joined it yesterday. हाँ, तो it takes almost 24 hours to show, okay? So for that you will get a mail and then you will get it, so don't worry. अभी नहीं आएगा तो within 2 or 3 hours you will get it. So वो तो this is a proper routine process, right? This is how you have to do it, ठीक है? And what you have to today, you have to share your homework. क्या चीज़ें भेजनी है मुझे? नहीं, एडिटोरियल तो पढ़ना है. You will share with me terminologies and what did you learn from the today's session. टेक अवे मतलब होता है आपने सीखा क्या, एनी आइडिया दैट हेल्प यू विद. यस,
जैसे कोई क्वेश्चन आया हमारे पास XYZ,
हाँ,
तो XYZ को हमने डिस्क्राइब कर दिया, बॉडी, इंट्रोडक्शन, कंक्लूजन और क्रिटिसिज्म,
हाँ,
और हमारा मार्क्स अप्रॉक्स 290 के प्लस जाना चाहिए, 180 280 और 290
राइट
के
राइट,
अप्रॉक्स.
हाँ,
तो वो जो आपने बताया था कि कीवर्ड्स लिखना है,
हाँ,
डायमेंशन
हाँ,
फिल करना है,
राइट,
स्कॉलर रखना है,
राइट,
वो हमें उस लेवल तक पहुंचाना
उस लेवल बिल्कुल, डेफिनेटली डिमांड
ऑफ द
राइट.
क्वेश्चन.
एंड मेनी टाइम्स व्हाट हैपेंस, यू राइट अ क्वेश्चन बट यू राइट बोगस, ठीक है, आपके लिए नहीं किसी के लिए भी. दे आर जस्ट फिलिंग द पेपर्स. इफ द क्वेश्चन इज ऑन अ वेरी रीसेंट आसियान डिक्लेरेशन, दे आर राइटिंग द स्टैटिक ऑफ आसियान, नंबर नहीं मिलेगा ना. If the question this year the question came, how has India's approach to Pakistan changed after Operation Sindoor, and the question mentioned India's hyper realist stance. अब सोचो, अब आप ओवरऑल इंडिया पाकिस्तान पे लिख के आओगे, आपको नंबर मिलेगा? नहीं मिलेगा. The question is very specific, hyper realist posture of India's react. So that is there. You just share that. Okay, you know the number on which you have to share. ये करेंगे, ठीक. And of course do this. The moment you are done with IPT and WPT, then also you let me know about your progress, ठीक है. फिर current affairs का session you try to do it, and finally what you have to give the test, ठीक है. इस प्रोग्राम में टेस्ट लिखना is a common part. Don't think कि अरे भाई टेस्ट आ रहा है, it's a very big thing that is there. After some time ना you will write test and you will feel normal. अच्छा टेस्ट ही तो है. Don't be too scared of it. Okay, every test will have 9 questions. Some will be 10 markers, some will be 15, some will be 20. Right? Many places में what they do in sectional test, every test is of 15 marks. उससे आप सीखते नहीं हो. You need to know how to write a 10 marker, how to write a 15 and how to write a 20 marker. Many times a concept you know, 10 marker हो जाता है, but 20 marker नहीं हो पाता. You don't know how to elaborate on it. I hope that part is also clear, right? So we have to focus on all these elements. Fine? So this is the orientation. I hope I have also made myself clear on what my expectation is from you. ठीक है, कंसिस्टेंट रहेंगे. आई एम नॉट सेइंग दैट यू जस्ट 12 hours and 14 hours, नहीं. कंसिस्टेंसी, इवन इफ 2 hours in on a low day, okay है, on good days 4-5 hours, but optional will require efforts from your side, consistent efforts. If you do that with proper guidance, you will see the right direction. Okay, that is there. So we'll end the session here for today. Anybody is watching this, any doubt that you have, if you have not joined the course yet, you can also contact me on the number I've shared. I'll have a discussion, ठीक है. Any point of discussion, any roadmap, any strategy that you want to discuss. Other than that, the people who have already joined, and please do this, share me your progress so that I also know whether we are on the right track or not, ठीक है. Today is the very first day of the course, which is why I wanted to meet all of you, ठीक है. इसके बाद से whatever problems you will face, we can meet one-on-one also, ठीक है. Okay, thank you so much. Any other doubt you have, please drop a comment. Okay.